hello, and happy time zones. Welcome to another week. And as we decided last week, it is another week of the Shady Pines crew. Um,
It was everything in my power today not to do up our actual logo.
oh, do it.
I
You're
thought,
muted.
I thought that was just so much work. Not,
You didn't explain to me what Shady Pines stands for, so is it because you're old and you live in a nursing home? Because that's the first thing I thought of.
It is from Golden Girls.
Okay.
We decided that we are part of the Golden Girls crew. We are the Shady Pines crew. Hello, Chloe.
and it sounds less gay than saying friends of Dorothy. No, not that Dorothy. The other Dorothy.
Friends of Zbornak.
Friends of Spornap.
It still sounds pretty gay.
Accurate.
Jace, can I have your permission for just a moment to be a walking advertisement for my new product?
Okay.
I got the Remarkable. It's amazing. If I could marry an electronic item, the wedding would be immediately.
If I could marry an electronic item, it's in my drawer.
I'm sorry. Like my immediate thought, not obviously I don't have one. It was just where my brain went. If I could marry an electronic item, it'd be my waifu. Easy.
I mean, there is that one protogen that's been putting images on Twitter lately of the new that he made, and it's just like, are you an electronics device? Because that's I know I've said too much. If you didn't understand a word I said, you are blessed. Yeah.
That's a lot of this stream.
Hello, Spence. How are you?
Yes, we have a wild meadow this week, which we rarely have.
Well, I wasn't going to join, but then Jordan left, and I was like, okay, cool. Now I can join because he's not going to be here to bother me.
But we also have
we're lucky.
We have
it is in the background.
The majestic Charlie and the wonderful Chloe.
Put that away.
And the elusive Meadow. And plain old Jace.
Oh, thank God I still have my headphones plugged in. I heard you whispering over my shoulder, and I was like, my house is freaking haunted. Well, Jace, why are you haunting me? Oh, you got muted, and your video is playing a different sound. That was
Jace, you are not plain. You are quite special. At least to all of us, anyways. At least to me. I don't know about everybody else, but to me. You're not just plain old Jace.
I just thought I had a disembodied Jace ghost in the back of my house, and I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this, but I'm pulling this black magic into.
I am Jace Ghost.
Coast to coast.
Post for that.
My child is being a nuisance.
They do that.
Okay. She tried to clean, and her method of cleaning was to move everything from the corner she's sitting in to the other side of the room by throwing it over her shoulder.
That is also my method of cleaning.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
So now the mess that was over there is now directly behind me instead.
Yeah. So. Yes. I won't say that I throw over the shoulder, but my method of cleaning does involve moving piles of things from one location to another location in an effort to make it look not as terrible.
I see more of these stickers.
What stickers?
I see a sticker that has animals on it.
Bring it here.
Oh my.
Well, those are your stickers.
Oh.
You don't have to compete with 3-year-old.
That was
children. Oh, speaking of 3-year-old, she's almost 4. She turns 4 on the 22nd next month.
Wow.
She's old. I'm old. We're old.
Noelle, you are a sign of all of our perpetual aging.
I'm gonna draw here.
How does it feel?
Here.
So I just discovered, like literally just now, this second, I discovered that my mother is Facebook stalking me.
Oh,
Oh,
joy.
lovely.
I didn't actually realize that we were Facebook friends. But she's kind of dumb, so she didn't realize that in viewing my story, I would see that she had viewed my story on Facebook.
Are you not friends with your
Um,
mom?
I mean, I didn't. Are you talking about in real life or on Facebook?
Like, are you not close with her?
Oh, I mean, that's complicated. If we want to talk about things in Facebook terms, it's complicated.
Oh, Screamo,
Um,
I feel that so strongly. Like, your reaction was so, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't talk to her for 10 years, but now I might be moving into her driveway. So, like, complicated.
Mm.
But she certainly acts like she has never, like, even been on Facebook. And my father also has a Facebook that literally he just has a picture of him holding a fish. And I wish I wasn't joking about that, but it's the most boomer goddamn thing you could possibly imagine. And I thought that she occasionally used his Facebook for stalking, and I had no idea that like she had a Facebook that was going, and she doesn't actually function on it, so I didn't realize that I was friends with her. So it was just a weird moment.
I'm still living in fear that my father's going to start a YouTube channel. He keeps asking me all these questions about video and what I do for a living. And there's part of me that's just like, thank you for your interest in my life. And the other part of me is like, you keep sending me really cursed things from Facebook and now from YouTube. Um,
All my
this one
feeds are
started.
All my feeds are depressing right now, so I don't want to go on them.
See,
Well,
this
no,
is why a
Well,
properly curated feed is a good thing because I go on there on mine and it's nothing but a bunch of really sexy pictures of a really sexy Swede in really weird makeup and teeth. So many teeth. There's so many teeth right now.
perfect.
No, I mean, I've curated my feeds to get just people who are not going to make me scream at the world.
But it's all
But
Ukraine right now. It's
it's
not
all
Russia.
Ukraine and it's all
Yeah, yeah,
depressing.
yeah.
oh my gosh.
If you go to Instagram, that will not be your life.
I don't like
Um,
Instagram.
So
I mean,
speaking of
that's
people
fair.
that make you scream at the world, I came across somebody on TikTok who made a TikTok saying that authors should not be allowed to express their opinions publicly on pirating of books
No.
That's a
because
weird.
they are a biased party and they cannot make. Well, the word she used was conductive, but I'm pretty sure she meant conducive. She said they cannot have a conductive conversation because they're a biased party.
So does that also mean that, like, Walmart should not have an opinion on theft of
Exactly.
Walmart
So
products?
in the author talk and book talk community on TikTok, the last 2 or 3 weeks, basically everybody's been nonstop talking about pirating because a lot of indie authors on TikTok have been making TikTok saying, "Oh, I found my book on this pirating website, so let's talk about pirating." Cool, constructive conversation. But then a couple people like her come in saying, "You have no right to tell us that we're bad for pirating your books because," and then they give reasons like, "Some of us are too poor to buy books. Okay, that's why libraries exist. Some of us don't have access to libraries. Okay, well, if you're reading books on these pirating websites, that means you have access to the internet. That means you have access to a library. And if you have access to the library, you can request that they buy any books that you want to read."
Yeah.
So and then the last excuse that this particular person used was that some people live in foreign countries and are trying to learn English. So how dare you take the right away from them to read your books for free so that they can learn English? It's like, my books are still in English whether you pirate them or not. They can buy the books.
Those are all terrible reasons. And like the thing is that I actually have, in the whole grand scheme of things, a fairly favorable opinion as far as authors go on pirating. I absolutely don't support it, but like I understand that it is unstoppable and that there are benefits to it. And like, is it worth it to like fight it? But at the same time, like that is not condoning it. And also every single one of those reasons, as you have already pointed out, are terrible. Please do not read my books to learn English from. And don't please don't like read especially like pretty much any indie book ever to learn English grammar because you have absolutely no idea how well vetted that is. Like if you want to learn English, you need to get Duolingo. We have the technology.
Well, the other thing too is that almost all the authors that are like talking about it, well, because the other thing too is like, how is it even theft? It's not like you're losing out anything. It's like, okay, so a bunch of people have like responded to these people and gone through and seen, okay, so my book was read on this pirating website 2,000 times. That means that's 2,000 sales that I lost
Yeah, that's not true.
because of this website.
Right. So that is
Yeah.
absolutely where the argument is
Smart.
because that's not like there is also this school of thought that none of those people were going to buy your book anyway. But again, that still comes back to the fact that like that's not condoning it. That's just being realistic that like you know
And the
Piracy
other
has
response,
always been piracy. Like even before it became this easy. Like I had some of the earliest stuff that I put out literally get photocopied and sent around. I found this out when somebody actually brought their photocopied copy of one of my books to a signing. Like
yeah.
they didn't even have enough shame to realize. Like
the other thing I've been hearing going around is a lot of the authors who are getting pirated from say, if you want to read my book for free, just contact me and I'll send you
Yeah.
an ARC. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather give it to you in exchange for like
Yeah.
a review or just give it to you myself than have you go steal it from me.
There's also the issue, not that like we actually need to go into this whole thing, but there's also the issue that people are actually like pirates are stealing their books and then posting them on Amazon. And then that is causing Amazon to ban the actual authors of those
Yep.
books because they're accusing the actual authors of pirating. And here is the thing about that goes back to your TikTok issue of this person saying that authors shouldn't have opinions about that. Readers don't fucking know that. Unless you're an author, you don't fucking know that that could happen to you.
The other thing too is a lot of the people that are getting pirated are on Kindle Unlimited, which is like you only can be on Kindle Unlimited, and if Amazon
Exactly.
finds your book anywhere else, they remove your book from their platform.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
not only are people losing out on sales because of the people reading them on the website, but if Amazon finds them, then they completely lose everything about their book because it no longer will be sold by Amazon.
Actually, it's bigger than that because Amazon will permanently ban your account. They
Yes.
will not let you have anything on Amazon if you get found breaking the Kindle Unlimited rules.
We just had two major authors in the alien romance genre that happened with. And obviously, like, there's still small names because it's a niche genre, but like, it was bad. And I think both of the accounts got restored, but like the one account that got restored, I know was entirely because of a social media push, where it was somebody who thankfully is one of the big names in the genre. So she did have enough followers for them to all rain shitstorm down on Amazon about it. But like, yeah, it's a massive issue. Um that's like again like because it does end up disrupting Amazon, it's a big problem.
And this actually is why I hate NFTs, because the original idea behind that technology was as a rights management tool that you would for copyright purchases attach an NFT to your work, and then that would be assigned to every copy of it that went out so that they would be able to trace back who actually owned the work. That it would be so integral to the way that the text was encoded that it would be undeniable who actually had that work. And then, of course, that gets turned into the biggest Ponzi scheme that
Mhm.
our world has ever seen.
So much so that South Park made a whole thing about it in their new special.
Oh, just
Did
wait for
they?
Texas to go under. Just wait. I mean, I don't feel sorry for them because fuck Texas. You know what you did.
South Park
Um,
special was about post pandemic, and it's like adult characters. Like all the kids are grown up, and they're trying to go back in time to the start of the pandemic to stop it from happening. And the Butters becomes an NFT salesman who's like super dangerous and has to get locked up into an asylum because he like convinces everybody that NFTs are like game changing things.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, CB, I don't recommend posting on Wattpad either because of that. Wattpad is not a very well protected community.
They used to be, they're not anymore.
No, you're absolutely right. They used to be fine, and then they fell apart.
When I was active on Wattpad, they were very strict. Now
Yeah.
well, you can only make so much money off of people writing their "I want to fuck Harry Styles" fiction before you just give up on life.
We're right. This is
And
absolutely fair.
like, I'm not really defending them, but that was their business model for a good 5-6 years.
It very much was. Yeah.
And the fact that there have been movies made from those stories,
yeah.
it blows my mind.
Not those particular ones, though, right?
After
No.
by Anna Todd is Harry Styles fan fiction.
Yep. There is at least one that
There's
is
at least one that they filed the.
It's a whole book series that got picked
Yeah.
up, published, and turned into movies.
God
That was Harry
almighty.
Styles fan fiction, and literally they just changed the name of the character to Hayden.
Oh. Oh.
Harry Styles is one of the singers from
Look,
Was it
I-
at least
One Direction.
was it at least better than 50 Shades of Grey?
no.
God damn it.
So are you
I
not
actually-
also feeling like you put too much work in on your fiction? Like, maybe if I just give
Yeah.
up and write absolute trash, I can get money too. That's how I get my book deal. Just write the absolute worst.
But see, this is why YouTube needs the clip function, because the absolute look of dismay and giving up on life on Chloe's face when she found out that is a thing that exists.
Two things. Number one, CB, Harry Styles was one of the singers for One Direction. If I'm remembering my band right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's who Harry Styles was. He's
Yeah.
now a solo pop singer. Two, we are going to be getting the ability to do modulated small form adaptations of our streams, which is what they're calling clips because it's YouTube and they're creative. And three, we'll also be able to sell them as NFTs because they announced that this week.
Alrighty then.
Yes, but how much money do you have to put of your own to sell it as an NFT?
I don't know, but when they were going off of the look at the exciting new features we're rolling out this month, and I'm just like, but why though? Like, but why?
Maggie said she would so clip that.
Real quick, before I forget, back to the pirating conversation. One thing that I got advice, or not me directly to me, but from TikTok that was like advice that somebody gave out is that if you're having an issue with pirating, every version of your book that you release on, like if you go wide, basically, have each one have its own identifying thing so that when you find your book pirated somewhere, you know exactly where they stole it from, so you can contact that. Like, hey, I have proof that my book was stolen from you and is on the site, so you need to do better. So, like,
That's
Amazon
clever.
paperback, Amazon ebook, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, like, all the different things.
So
So that's clever. The problem with it, though, is I feel like most indie authors use either D2D or Smashwords, which means that you really are only going to have 3 versions out there. You're only going to have Amazon D2D / Smashwords, which are now the same. Actually, I don't even need to differentiate between them, and Google Play. But it's a
Well, a lot of
clever idea if you
a lot of others
don't.
that go wide will go like they'll go Kobo and Google book like Google Play Books and iTunes or Apple
Right,
Books and
but Smashwords and D2D, whatever they are going to be called, once the merge is finalized, they put your book on all of those services. So you are
gotcha.
not like my books that are on Smashwords go to, I believe, 8 different retailers. So I don't even have to put them on Amazon actually. I have them on Amazon myself because I'm already on Amazon
Also, Amazon
with my
will
KU
punish
stuff.
you if you don't use KDP as an indie.
Well, maybe
Right.
it's more for people who don't use a
Yeah,
service like
yeah.
Smashwords, because then you can better track where your book is getting stolen from.
Yeah, no, it's smart. It's just not
Not
helpful for a
necessarily
lot of
realistic.
authors, but for the authors it is helpful for. That's very smart.
And if the other
Noel, what do you,
companies would make something as easy, and granted, KDP is not the easiest thing in the world to use, but at least as easy as KDP, because as somebody who has gone wide with some of their works and gone to each individual place, Barnes and Noble, get your act together. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
you exist anymore, but the way you have to put a book up there is just ridiculous
Yeah.
and wrong.
That's why so many people go through Smashwords and D2D.
Yeah, Kobo is
Because
not much nicer. Google Play is the devil.
Google Play is a goddamn nightmare, and I've literally never sold a book on it. I just put it on there because, like, I feel like I should, but I've never once sold a book on Google Play. I don't have a lot of books that are wide, mind you, but like, I
I
have, I think, 4 books on Google Play, and I've never sold a single
There's
thing.
a part of me that feels like Google Play actually, good thing Google has a secret investment in like Drive to Digital and all these other platforms, and making it intentionally difficult so that
Yeah,
they can make more money on you on the other side.
I
Noel,
like
get out of there.
There,
I like that in order to do a sale on your books on Google Play, you have to give them a goddamn spreadsheet.
yep.
Like what? This is not the world we live in anymore. We don't
And
need to do this.
not even a
Meanwhile, on
standing one.
Smashwords, they just emailed me and they were like, "You want to do our sale next week?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to do your sale next week." Done.
Noel sprayed sunscreen all over my sliding glass door.
Oh no, that is a nightmare to clean off glass.
Well, I mean, at least
I was
you're
like, "What is that smell I'm
still
smelling?" Noel, what did you? Shit.
Yeah.
now you don't have to worry about it getting a sunburn, though. I mean, it's nothing worse than sunburnt glass.
And when the sun's coming through, you can sit on the other side of it and not get burned through the glass.
Just that one spot.
Just the one spot where she sprayed it.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to do a sprint?
We should
Yeah,
do
Why
sorry,
it.
I started a conversation. I did this last time too.
I mean, we only sprint to keep like the name of the stream valid. Let's be honest.
This is really just the Shady Pines crew chat.
You have a boo on your leg.
Noel, you want to say go?
Go!
All right, I guess we have to go.
We
2,
do.
3, 4, 5, 6,
It's the wrong way.
7, 8,
Wrong way.
9, 10. Go!
Beepity beepity beep.
Badoop.
The sprint has ended.
Sprint has sprinted.
The sprint has sprint.
How
The
did
scream.
everybody sprint?
The scream has been scrumped.
The scream has been scrumped.
Yep.
You were going to claw that word into the English language?
Don't
I want.
I am going to force it into the English language.
I just can't wait to see you like marking it as an editor's note on people's manuscripts. Like you said, screamed here. It should actually be scrumped.
God, learn to conjugate, people. Yeah, okay.
Scream.
So on Facebook, I am in a group for screenshots of words where the apostrophe is in the wrong place, and you just have to accept this about me. And every once in a while, we just had it happen yesterday, but every once in a while, somebody will jump on and try to be like, no, that apostrophe is in the right place, and like it never is. And last time it was maths, as in the plural of math. They tried to claim there should be an apostrophe in it because it's an abbreviation of mathematics.
It's not
What?
for abbreviations.
That's not how apostrophes work.
No. And the other one was an acronym that was pluralized. I don't remember what it was, but it was basically like SUVs. And she tried to claim that
Oh.
should also have an apostrophe because that is also an abbreviation.
So I would
But
have
That's still not how
for
apostrophes work.
No,
abbreviations.
not even
I
a
would have
little
less
bit.
bad thoughts if they at least got confused and said that's how contractions work. And I'd be like, okay, I see where you went wrong here.
Yeah. And like you could say, like, I'm not gonna argue the semantics on using the word abbreviation because a contraction is a form of an abbreviation, but the logic is wrong because some abbreviations get that apostrophe. And though that subset is contractions, she was claiming that all abbreviations could validly get a apostrophe, and that is completely wrong.
Well, this person is incorrect.
Yes.
Maggie is looking for clarification on spelling and word use for scrumped.
So for the second one, though, for the SUVs, it was not actually SUV. I don't remember the um what the acronym was, but the post had the second one as being correct when it was actually the third one because it was a pluralization. It wasn't a possessive. It wasn't like the SUV's brake lights. It was like the group of SUVs. And
Stupidness.
they had it written as the second one.
Now I would have to look it up, but would it still need the periods, the dots?
No, it doesn't.
No?
Not for SUVs. But that
It
is
depends on what it is. Like FBI wouldn't need it, but something similar that is less well known maybe would need it.
right, and that is something that is purely case by case. It is just what convention has dictated for that particular term.
And completely on the side of this conversation, if you've got a friend who recently got themselves a new SUV, if you start pronouncing it as a SUV, they will shut up about it.
Love it.
I know this.
Oh, can I ride in your new SUV?
I do love your new SUV.
Thanks to Glee, I can never say her name any other way than Cat $Ha. I know how she wants it said. I can't do it.
I feel the same way.
Principal
Yeah.
Figgins is the best.
Yes. Cat
Okay. That reminds me of a while back. There was a trend on TikTok where people would do voiceovers with the voiceover feature on TikTok. When you put text on the screen, there's a feature that reads it to you. And they have to censor, for some reason, they have to censor words like gay and lesbian and stuff. And so somebody censored the word lesbian by putting a $sign. And so then the voiceover thing pronounced it la dollar bean.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
then this like butch lesbian stitched one of the videos, and she's like, "I swear to God, if you guys do not call me Ladala Bean from now on, I will never speak to you again."
Yeah, I definitely identify as Ladala Bean.
I'm now jealous of nomenclature.
I feel like TikTok is just this one giant big inside joke that you get all of it if you're on TikTok, but if you don't use TikTok, then you're just like, what the fuck? Are
I
these
have
people on
actually
drugs?
I am not on TikTok, and for some reason, I don't know how it got into my life, but I have heard of Ladala Bean.
Ladala Bean. I think I may have mentioned it before.
Oh, maybe that might be it. Maggie says her friend from India believed what Chloe said about apostrophes. They are taught apostrophes for abbreviations and contractions. And I'm very sad to say, but that is something that does occur where we're just like, no, this is rule. This is how things are taught. This is what things are. And we're the only country that does it that way.
Um, I believe, and we have people here obviously who can confirm that. UK uses apostrophes the same way that US does. If
Probably.
India uses it that way, India is the outlier. Because I do a lot of editing for UK authors, and I don't recall ever seeing that from them.
I'm not
New
talking about
Zealand as
that one
well.
in specific.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
talking about like there have been rules that I've come across that are just like, no, it's XYZ, and they're like, only in America.
yeah. There are tons of rules like that. This one happened to not be one of them.
Hmm.
I got into a debate with my British friend the other day because he's very annoyed with how punctuation works with quotation marks that are like part of a quote and not like necessarily dialogue or whatever. And he hates that the punctuation in the US goes inside the quotation marks. And I was like, I argued with him at first, but then I was like, actually, you might be right. So I looked it up, and it's like half some punctuation is inside and some punctuation is outside. And he said in UK, it's all on the outside.
What do we put on the outside?
Colon, semicolon, parentheses, and M dashes, I think. I might be wrong about the M dashes, but I'm for sure about the
Are
other three.
definitely inside. I guess those other ones would just be like so weird that I don't know that I've ever come across any of them in actual
I just feel like at
writing.
some point I'm going to have to move to the UK so I don't have to keep spell checking my work because I write with all the British spellings instinctively.
Do you watch a lot of British television?
Yes, and I read a lot
That
of.
would be why.
I also read a lot of writers from the UK. So I'm so steeped in it that it looks wrong to me to spell it the American way.
So CB says, why can't English use the same darn system globally? English, it's because
Well,
English is made out of the stolen bits of other people's languages,
Technically,
and
it's
okay.
spite. The real answer to your question, CB, is spite. So when our country was founded, they literally paid a man to put together an English dictionary that distinguished American English from British English. And then that was enforced throughout the colony, throughout the new country,
So
which
we
is why,
couldn't be associated with them anymore.
yeah, that's why we use these instead of S's in a lot of places. It was not about pronunciation at the time, it was simply to be different. It's also why we chose to say aluminum instead of aluminium, because
Well, aluminium, my British friend told me that they do actually have an extra I
they do.
They
in
mhm.
do.
theirs.
Yeah, they just spell it differently.
Yeah, that's why we chose the spelling that we did, though, because it was so pervasive in England that it set us apart. There are 1700s dictionaries that have a debate over whether or not the word herb starts with an e or an h, because they were debating how far they wanted to go. Like, were we just going to accept the pronunciation that everybody has here without the h and just spell it differently, or are we going to reinforce that h? And we chose to pronounce it wrong and leave the h on. So
We chose silent.
You want to know a language that's confusing for me? I've been doing Italian on Duolingo. There's so many silent letters. There's so many silent letters.
Try
I
French for that.
Yeah, that's where I stopped.
distinctly remember being in French class, and like the reason that I aced French class was because I finally came around to like, you remember what the word is and then you spell it wrong and that will give you the right answer. Like whatever you think the spelling is for that word, it's the
Just
wrong
add 5
spelling and you
extra
need to try
letters.
again. Yeah.
French is an ideogrammic language, not an alphabet-based language. Changed my mind.
And like,
Stop it.
and like the most basic, like the most common phrase, qu'est-ce que c'est? What is it? You will never fucking figure out how to spell it on your own.
Yeah, no.
Ever.
And I have the
not
pleasure.
even a sliver of a chance that you could ever, like, there is no hooked on phonics in French. That is impossible.
I have the pleasure of marrying into a French last name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I went from Norwegian to French.
French is like the only language where you can have a 26-letter word pronounced "oh."
Yes. Yes. Oh no, that's not true though. Because also, is it Welsh?
Welsh doesn't follow the rules of any letters.
Right. But like they also have those like grievously long words
Oh yeah.
that just end up spelling.
Well, see, yeah, Welsh, like German, though, loves compounding words. That's why German words sometimes seem so long. And
I love German words for that because the words tell stories.
Hmm.
Like how so many answers are pigs, or how so many animals are pigs. And it's just like what kind of pig they are tells you what animal it is.
Irish is another one that confuses the fuck out of me.
Hmm.
once you come to understand strong vowels and weak vowels, it makes a lot of sense. But that's a really hard concept.
Well, the thing with Italian, because I've been doing the Duolingo, and the thing that always gets me is that, like, if you have a plural definite, like the boys, it's E with just an I. But a plural singular, or a singular definite of like the boy is IL, but they're pronounced the same. So it's I ragazzi or I ragazzo. And so you're like, one of the parts that you have to do on the Duolingo is you have to listen to it and then write the Italian that you hear. And I always get it wrong every fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then
Yeah.
even like I'll type it out and be like, you know what? I usually get this wrong, so I'm gonna put it the other way. And then I'm still wrong.
Hey, let me give you the secret to a lot of weird things in Duolingo. Pick the most sexist answer. You're usually right.
This is fair.
If you can't remember the gender of the word, if it's a very insulting statement, just say she. You will be right. It's really weird the odd misogyny that exists in that app.
I haven't had much of a problem with that so far, anyways. But like, it's just confusing because then there's the word to cut is tayo, but it's spelled TAGLIO. Because
Yes,
if you have a GL next to each other, they're silent. So
Mhm.
it's tayo. But if it was an LG, it would be talgio. So you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then the way C's are, their CH is a K sound, their singular C is a ch sound, and their double C is a S sound.
So I will point out though that like for when you're using something like Duolingo, at least Italian uses our alphabet.
Truth.
I tried to use it to brush up on my Japanese a couple of years ago because like I took 4 years of Japanese or 4 semesters of Japanese in college. I used to speak very well Japanese. Also, if I say things really messed up today, it's because I have COVID and I am getting better, but like words aren't working right for me. But anyways, very quickly, within like the first probably 10 hours, I would say, of Duolingo Japanese, they switched to the hiragana and the katakana. Um,
Yep.
so like almost immediately you're thrown into like two alphabets that have absolutely like nothing in comparison to our alphabet. And like they don't even fully explain why some words are in hiragana and some words are in katakana. Like I don't know that if you tried to learn Japanese through Duolingo, you would ever know why the two different
I do not know
um
why because of Duolingo, but I do know why. But
right. Yeah. Like
yeah.
anybody who's
Oh
actually
no. The
taken
worst part of
Japanese.
the worst part about Duolingo's Japanese is they keep realizing, oh, we haven't done that part well, and keep updating the earlier part where they teach you the alphabets, and then pretend they've already taught you the vocabulary later. So I
Oh
keep having to
no.
restart from the beginning because it starts throwing these words at me that I have never seen before.
Oh no. Oh no. And they're in hiragana,
Yeah.
so or they're in
Oh no, and
kanji.
worse, sometimes
I,
they're in kanji.
yeah.
Sometimes
At
you're like,
some point, you get to kanji on it too. Like, oh my
yeah,
god,
and it's just like I
what
have
a
no idea what this word
nightmare!
is, and then I scroll backwards and notice, oh look, there are all of these lessons in the earlier segments that I haven't finished because they just added them in to clarify things.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I'm not
I
a
guess
that's
the nice
that
thing with
dog.
So
that though is that you get to have like a relaxing day with it.
Yeah, true.
I
with
Going
do
back to like,
understand.
with this talk of having a different alphabet going on, I'm wondering if Meadow looked at like the Duolingo Arabic, how it would be.
do they
So
have
the only
Arabic yet?
Yeah, they do. The only struggle for me is that the Arabic I speak is specifically Egyptian Arabic, which is its own language entirely. Like a lot of the words are similar, but it's like the difference between in like British English that they teach in like college, like super intelligent, proper English, versus like what somebody would speak in like the bayou that's never spoken to anybody properly. Like they're the same language technically, but they're very different. And they don't offer Egyptian on Duolingo. So when I started doing Arabic on Duolingo, it was teaching me modern standard Arabic, which is what they speak on the news. And nobody speaks that except for on the news. So I'm like having to relearn all these words. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that the word for doctor is not that, but I
It's
mean,
like learning
okay.
it's like learning real normal people English and then Ozark English.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
That was
Fortunately,
a
the
shot at
alphabet,
Charlie.
Yes.
I'm familiar with
Well
the
deserved though.
alphabet, so that's not a struggle. I'm familiar with like the way the grammar structure is set up because that's the same all across the dialects. Is like the order in which you say the words in a sentence, and like the gendering of the words, all that kind of stuff. Like that's consistent. It's just the actual vocabulary that's different. So I'm
So
having to learn a lot of different vocabulary that I'd never learned before because I speak Egyptian Arabic and not regular Arabic.
So Maggie, when I took Russian in high school, my teacher believed in immersion. So she came in speaking to us in Russian on day one and did not speak English with us until we were 3 weeks in. And we had to learn on the spot how to figure out what she was saying. She was very good at pantomime, so we're able to start figuring it out. And we progressed through the language very quickly because she refused to do class in English. But
That sounds like the Army language school. It's
we thought we were in the wrong
total
place.
immersion.
Yeah, we thought we were in the wrong place because
So just a little sidetrack because you said pantomime. So last weekend, I have been sick for 2 weeks now. I had a cold last week, and then I went to Vegas last weekend for my friend's bachelor party. I was feeling like I was getting over that cold, and then on Saturday, I woke up without a voice and spent the entire rest of the trip having to pantomime everything to my friends or like text them or whatever, like complete loss of my voice. And the funny thing is that, like, if I communicated to my friends to please order me a tea with honey and lemon, they would say back to me, a tea with honey and lemon. They understood the pantomime that I gave them. But as soon as the server came over, they'd be like, a tea for her, thanks. And I'd be like,
that's rude.
they'd be like, oh, and lemon. And then like the server would just walk away and I'd be like, "Oh." And that was my weekend. And then I came home with the souvenir of COVID, which was certainly because my immune system was shot because of the cold. But that was my fun trip to Vegas.
Sounds delightful.
To
Yeah, I
prove
did
what
have a
Jake
good
was
time in
saying,
spite of everything, but like, oh my god.
and just to prove what Jake was saying, if you were wanting to say a phrase like, "So, would you like to do a sprint now?" in localese around here, it'd be, "You want to sprint now?"
I do want to sprint now.
We
You
are
put way too many
fixin'
syllables
to
in
do
that.
a sprint.
We're fitness sprint.
Fitness fit.
Oh,
I
also, my COVID has given him like the happiest time of his life because he just has
No,
lived next to me the entire time. This is his life. He's gonna be really mad when I'm healthy again.
cats do get very upset when the cuddle time ends.
Yeah. And I have to go back to work tomorrow because of the CDC. So yeah.
Bitches.
Yeah.
I
oh no,
found
we
an
dropped most of
aquarium
the.
timer.
So Maggie, we actually dropped most of the consonants in Ozark English, and everything just sounds like a grunted like moan, and you're just expected to intuit what the other person is saying.
Sounds smexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I were going to interpret that and say, okay, so I say this in a moan, I'd be like, sprint?
No, yes, because you don't say any sharp letters. You don't say any of the sharp letters, so you don't say the T's unless it's very important and you want some tay. And then you have to like actually pronounce the A, but kind of before the E because everything's backwards and inside out.
Like
uh,
a diphthong.
yeah.
So
You turn it
just
into a diphthong.
just to spite one of our employees because she's local and she needs it, we put jambalaya on the menu for Mardi Gras, and it is hilarious because when she says it, she says jambalaya.
Yeah, that's how I would think they would have
Um,
said it. I was gonna
there's
say
that
jambalaya.
there's that TikTok trend of like saying things that sound really funny because of what your accent is. And there is the one that is for, I believe they specifically say Baltimore City on it, but like certainly anybody in the Mid Atlantic is going to have a similar problem. And it is to enunciate it properly. Aaron earned an iron earn. And
Oh,
absolutely every fucking one of us says earn, and iron.
yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say that's easy in Baltimore. That's like one word repeated over and over again.
yeah. Earn. Like, and it's funny because like the only word that isn't the same is "and" because like we don't say "and," we say like so it's earn. Like we can't even get the "and" right in
Uh,
it.
well, native Baltimore accents are the cutest things on earth. I absolutely adore them.
I have ADHD, so I mirror other people's accents. I don't have an accent of my own anymore.
Most of the time, I do not, but I really love it that people have learned my tell, and when my accent starts coming out on stream, they're like, "Uh oh, Charlie's pissed." They can't keep up their mid Atlantic English anymore.
Yeah, they know it with me when my hood comes out.
I'm sorry, your hood?
My hood.
I'm I'm gonna need an example of this immediately.
That's when he pronounces girl with a T.
I feel like with me, you just never know what accent is gonna pop out when I get animated. Because I have spoken in too many places with too distinctive of accents. So either it is going to be my um upstate New York, which is like a real special sort of accent, or that or the Atlanta accent.
Are we ready for number two?
Yeah.
Sprint number
suppose.
2.
Let's show number 2 who
Yeah.
he works for.
Let's make this number 2 our bitch.
All
Sorry, I
right.
got a little bit too intense.
That's true, Maggie. That's very true.
In 3, 2, 1, go. Beep. Quack.
Hello.
Oh, look at that super important message right there. Vom.rad. Thanks, Julian.
It's red vom. I mean, you should probably get that checked out.
Bomb red.
Bomb red.
Vomrad.
Bomb red.
Red.
Rad.
Red.
I actually have been getting words in during these sprints, and that doesn't usually happen because, well, it's either me not having any creative energy at all, or these streams are at the end of my day, and I don't have just energy.
Well, during the first sprint, I did 100K, or not 100K, 1K,
Damn!
1K editing on a thing. And then on the second sprint, I folded a whole basket of laundry.
I see that Chloe is now Ladala Bean.
La Dollar
Yeah.
Bean.
I attempted to do work on both sprints. On the first one, I ended up having to go down a real weird Google hole that I want to talk about.
Kinky.
And now this one, I ended up looking up RV parks in Brevard County. Life.
Because you'd rather not be in a driveway?
Right. Well, I would like to have like a sewer hookup so I don't have to actually like go into my parents' house to, use sewer things.
Please.
That
No.
makes sense.
Can I put it on now, please?
But like I don't have a, vehicle to actually tow the camper, so like I gotta find a permanent place for it if it's
Go
yeah.
to a planet. Earth. I'm gonna draw Earth.
Draw it.
I may have just continued working on my Temple of Sana
There's an
Spa
island on
in
it.
Vaughn.
Here we go on. Go on an island that you want to go.
Oh, it is so
Well,
extra. It is. It may have had a roof
Earth.
by the end of yesterday's stream, but to now it's fully built up, and I'm making an exterior atrium for it because I have a problem.
Noelle's drawing Earth.
I support that.
I kind of want to finish this sentence because it's
I'm
my
gonna
main
draw by
character
myself.
my main character telling his mom about the day that he had at the mall with some friends, but it's all lies. Um, but he's doing that.
I feel like you should finish that sentence just to like have the sentence finished.
But it's one of those where it's one of those, if I talk really fast and really excited, then maybe she won't see through it. But this line is like, so the four of us are going from store to store, but Casey, who's gay like me, but not because he's out and super gay, has a super expensive
That's a
taste.
different kind of guy.
I'm a fan of that, the babbling soliloquy.
You're not alone.
That is absolutely how I write all of my characters' panic attacks.
This one's not a panic attack though. This is if I throw enough information at her that we concocted. maybe it'll be too much information for her to poke holes in.
Yeah, that's kind of my life goal right now, is to have enough money to be able to afford to hire some people who may or may not be on the stream to take a look at my trilogy that's finished and tell me, oh god, that is way too much stream of consciousness panic attack in that chapter. Like, it's the whole damn chapter. Like, why did you? Because I kind of need the guilt trip of not just a
of my
friend.
writing style.
Well, see, I need the guilt trip of not just having like a friend tell me this, but like the guilt of I paid money for someone to tell me this, so I kind of have to listen to it now. Like, I will have wasted the money if I ignore the advice. Damn it!
Yeah,
Yes.
I just accept that, like, if you are reading a Chloe Alice Balkan novel, you are going to have that stuff because that is part and parcel Chloe Alice Balkan. Random babbling panic attacks.
But it works.
A great deal of repetition. It is a thing. Things don't always make sense. It's okay.
Well, that's just my life.
Was trying to save me.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the cat was desperately trying to get in there and save you from whatever terrible thing was going on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set up a timer.
Apologizing to the Mexican for the Florida education system failing him on how to work a book.
What? Very nice.
I have no idea what any of those words mean.
He was to look up a recipe and didn't use the index. He just started flipping pages.
Oh.
And so I made a bad joke about how the Florida education system failed the Mexican and not teaching him how to use a book properly.
I mean, yeah, it does have a table of contents. Like, all he had to do was use the table of contents.
Or the index, which is what I kind of mentioned for him to use in the first place. Like, here, look up the page in the index. I mean, I told him it was around page 600 something. It's a big book. It turned out to be page 620. I was actually pretty close.
I mean,
I think there's 800 and some pages in there. Or 800.
We don't have a lot of recipes. It's fine.
Yeah. It's a big book.
We don't have a problem collecting recipes. You have a problem collecting recipes.
I just thought it was pretty funny because Jen had already gotten after me when I... She's like, do you want...
Are there, like, lots of dogs or geese outside of someone else's house, or are they outside of my house?
I think
they're outside of your house.
Just yours.
All the geese are yours now. We took a vote when you weren't here and decided no more.
Yeah, that's...
Stevie's comment about Gogglebox just makes me happy because about how people south of the border between Scotland and England can't understand the Glasgow accent. Just makes me happy because it does drive me nuts that, like, I can understand probably 3/4 of the British shows I watch, and then there is another quarter that I'm like, I don't understand a single word that is being spoken right now. And it just makes me feel better when, like, also English people can't understand it. Like, okay, good.
It's not just me.
Yeah. I try real hard and then, like, no.
Thank you, Meadow. Yeah, I have also run into that with British shows. I enjoy the, like, British panel shows where they actually make fun of those. Like, they are just taking the shit out of everybody. And they're like, yeah, you're from so-and-so, so I actually haven't understood a word you said this whole show.
Peaky Blinders could not understand a single word of it. Okay.
It's like that one character from King of the Hill that nobody can ever understand.
Power.
Oh, no, I can understand Power because that's how my brother talks.
That you understand it just fine.
Yeah. Like the moment I heard that, I was like, "Oh no, when did my brother meet Mike Judge?" Like I really had like a full on almost panic attack because I was like, "I'm going to get a story and it's not going to be good."
Yeah, it might have been the Glasgow accent before, but I do hear. I listen to Irish people and Scottish people and all that speak, but every once in a while that one comes in and I'm just like, I'm focusing really hard and I'm only catching like half of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And of course
oh,
you have
honey.
times where they like exaggerate it deliberately, like oh god, it wasn't even a native speaker. I think it was Brad Pitt, right? And Snatch, that you just like couldn't understand a single word he was saying. Because he was overinflating the accent. But like, yes, there are just, and it's funny because like, coming from the American perspective, it's such a small space in comparison to us, but like overall, I can understand pretty much anything an American says, no matter how bad their accent is. Yeah, you have those rough moments where you're definitely like translating it. And like I get it just because the history of the British Isles is so much
Colonizing.
more divided than us. Like it makes sense. It's not like I don't understand why it happens, but it's just like it's a weird thing from the American perspective.
Hmm. But like, I hear someone like Peter Capaldi who has a Scottish accent, and it's like clear as day. I have no problem
Mhm.
with him. But, oh, sometimes.
Yep.
But, there's also a newer American accent coming up. Actually, it's happening with younger British ones too. It's the YouTube slur,
Yep.
where it's just like they don't bother making entire sentences into separate words
What for what goal?
to get through the sentences they want to get out faster, like their intros and stuff. It's like,
YouTube is turning
Oh,
everyone into a Gilmore Girl on crack.
it's like, hey, this is what it is. So it's like and subscribe.
yes. Yeah. No, that I do understand what you're talking about there. Yeah.
All I can think of when you say that is freaking JoJo Siwa.
Oh, she do that? I haven't listened to her, so
I will find a video of JoJo Siwa speaking. Just give me.
Oh yeah. JoJo C was terrible. Oh my god. I can't. She talks too fast. I can't understand what she's saying. And like, I'm not. Again, I'm from New York. I can deal with fast talking. I live in Atlanta now, but I'm fine with it. But then even I will say, like, even with British Baking Show, I can understand every single person except last season. It wasn't even one of the foreigners. It was Lizzie. I couldn't understand a single damn word that Lizzie said. Oh my god.
Oh, Lizzie though was such a sweet bee.
Lizzie was me. I hated how much Lizzie and I were the same person. Could not understand a single word she said.
Oh, Lizzie's such a sweet bean. Just
But like, so like with JoJo Siwa though, I don't know. I guess that is just what the accent is that you're talking about. I just kind of always assumed she was like a Fred, where like it wasn't an accent so much as it was her shtick.
the funny thing is, I don't think a lot of people remember Fred.
Okay, we are all old enough to remember Fred.
Does
I don't
Meadow
want
remember
to.
Fred?
Can I pretend that I don't?
I think Meadow is the right age that she would
I
have been the
remember
target.
Fred. I wasn't a fan of Fred.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody around me loved him.
That's
I was
exactly
just
what I
kind
was
of
gonna
like,
say. You're probably like the target demographic for Fred. The rest of us were too old for Fred. We
I
I
were.
was
pretend I have
in
no idea who you're talking about, and I choose
I was
to.
in high school when Fred got his TV show on Nickelodeon.
So you would have even been a little bit too old for Fred.
When he was like height of popularity on YouTube, I was middle school age.
Oh, so you were that age.
Now, Lucas Cruikshank does have his own channel still. And I've seen some of his stuff, but he's very typical YouTuber. Like, if there's a challenge going around, he does the challenge, that kind of thing. Like,
Okay.
do what everybody else. Oh, what are you sharing?
It's JoJo Siwa talking.
Okay.
Brace
ready?
yourself.
You guys, today I am so excited because it is finally time for my brand new bedroom
This is
makeover.
slow for her.
This is about to be so epic. I'm giving myself a huge bedroom makeover using all my
This
brand
is
new
really slow
products
for
from
her.
Target.
Yeah. This is not
I'm
nearly the
understanding
animation
this.
that I'm used to.
I'm also talking that I had a whole new bed made. I had a whole new thing for my bows made. Maybe
I don't know why.
JoJo's juice. Hey everyone, it's JoJo. Welcome back to JoJo's Juice, where every single Wednesday.
Okay, that's it.
That is JoJo's
Juice on my head.
Juice.
Today, I don't really have much to talk about in my intro, but I do have something really cool that I want to show you guys. Not only do I have one JoJo bike, but I now have two JoJo bikes. A couple of days ago, my brother surprised me with the second bike that you just saw, but like that is just crazy to me. Little JoJo, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You guys, today, look what I got with me.
So I really feel like this is what future English is just going to
This
be.
is China,
It is.
everybody.
Yeah.
Guys,
It's
I'll tell you something.
unfortunate.
You are one of the coolest
Okay, I'm
four-year-olds
going
that I have ever met.
to do this.
Yeah, that's actually relatively slow for JoJo. I've seen a lot of videos where she's talking, and she's talking so fast that it's basically just one big giant monosyllable,
Yep.
and not a single goddamn person can understand what she's saying.
Yeah. That is the YouTube accent that's going around, and I'm just like, oh my god, put in syllables, please.
I do
It's just,
kind of want to hear
I
her
don't- I
do
guess it's-
Shakespeare now, though.
I guess it's for a specific demographic, but like that doesn't have any value. Like I don't understand why anybody would watch that unless that is literally what they want to watch is somebody just talking like that. Because you're not getting anything informative out of it. You're just getting gibberish out of it.
It's like Flight of the Bumblebee, and then done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Her voice does go up and down like the Flight of the Bumblebee too.
Mhm. I think that's actually really accurate.
I think we have cracked the code.
In concert.
Yeah, I see, from everything I've heard, she is a wonderful human being and should be looked up to,
Get out of the kitchen right now.
but I can't watch that.
Yeah.
She is in a very happy relationship with a female.
Mhm.
I just have to say, I may have be the wrong person for this conversation because I spend way too much time on the YouTubes, and I'm just like, that just sounds almost normal to me. I don't.
Okay, so CB, I know you fixed the typo, but I actually love Bali Ray Cyrus because I want to see like an Indian version.
Yes.
Because that would be an awesome thing to watch.
Oh, just about anything would be better than actual Billy Ray. Oh no, I am way too familiar with the oeuvre that is Billy Ray Cyrus because my mom got low-key obsessed with him when he had that weird Christian TV series Doc. Which, if you don't know that exists, just be so proud of yourself. You have lived a good life.
And you've ruined it.
That's what I'm here for. Do
I
you
am
not know
here
my
to ruin
branding?
your life.
Apparently, my child was turned into a frog.
So like I on day like 1.5 ran out of new shows that I was interested in binging. So I watched the National Treasure series because that's what you do when you're sick, right? I watched Free Guy, which was delightful. And Disney Plus was like, "Would you like to now watch National Treasure?" And I was like, "How the fuck do you know me this well?" But I always forget every time I get sick and watch the National Treasure series. I forget that I'm gonna have to deal with Lyle Lovett eventually, and like every time it gets to that, I'm like, but let's just get through this scene. Keep going.
Those movies are so gloriously delightful just because I kind of want Nicolas Cage to save the country. Like, I just
Yeah,
low key, like, we can't. Can we
yeah.
just get Nicolas Cage to save the country? Like, I'm sure he can find a secret message anywhere. Like, let's just do that, please.
But here's the thing. If he's going to save the country, I need him to do it in his vampire character.
Oh my.
His over the top, oh my god character.
Also, the just like zero
His face-off
accountability
character,
for that
man.
time that they destroy London in it. Like, oh, okay. We're just moving on from that. Got it.
Since you liked Free Guy, which I adored, you would like on. I think it's on Disney Plus. I'm not 100% sure. It's called Ron's Gone Wrong. It's a very similar concept of artificial intelligence type thing. It's very, very cute.
What was the first word in that?
Ron apostrophe S. RON apostrophe S gone wrong.
Like Ron Weasley. Got it. Okay. Got it. I was like hearing was that wrongs gone wrong or ROMs gone wrong because it is AI or Ron got it.
Yeah, so
I will check it out.
CB says yes, it is on Disney Plus. I really enjoyed it. It's a very similar type of concept of the artificial intelligence type thing as Free Guy. They're both very good. I watched Free Guy, and then the next day we watched Ron's Gone Wrong, and it was like I was like, didn't we just watch this movie?
I will check it out. Thank you. I very much enjoyed Free Guy. I don't know how I missed that movie coming out, but I had no idea it even existed. And then again, in my like COVID scrolling of like just trying to find something for me to focus on my attention on so I wasn't coughing so much. I just stumbled upon that. I was like, is that Ryan Reynolds? Is that Ryan Reynolds as a video game character? What the fuck? And yeah, it was delightful.
In my endless attempt to get myself canceled, I have not watched that yet just because it's Ryan Reynolds. And
It's delightful.
Okay, Ron's Gone Wrong is on Disney Plus and HBO Max.
I don't have HBO, but thank you.
Do you not like Ryan Reynolds, Charlie?
I'm not the biggest fan of Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
Interesting.
I like Ryan Reynolds. More of his more recent stuff. I mean, his older stuff, like Van Wilder, I can't watch that movie because of the scene with the donuts.
That's fair.
Every time I think of the scene of the donuts, I gag. I've started to slowly get past my urge to gag now, but that's the first time I've ever literally ever in my life have I. Before this point, I have never watched anything that has made me gag until that moment. And I watched that movie like 6 months ago. So
Yeah, it was bad. Also, I feel like it probably recommended Free Guy to me because I tried to find Detective Pikachu, which is adorable, and nobody is allowed to tell me otherwise. I fucking love that movie. It was so cute.
As somebody who doesn't even like Ryan Reynolds, I loved Detective Pikachu.
It was so cute. You did such a good job with it, and it's not on any of the services that I have for free right now. So I guess they just threw Free Guy at me to like make me feel better. But also, my favorite Christmas movie is Just Friends. So I do have a soft spot for Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I just watched the new Kingsman movie the day before yesterday. It was very good. Unexpected things happened. I don't want to say because I don't want to spoil anybody, but I was like, there was a couple spots in the movie where I was like, but why did that have to happen?
So, I developed a crush on Ryan Reynolds back in what is probably his first role. Back when I was very young and Nickelodeon was showing a show called 15. And he was a teenager back then.
He was a baby.
So my crush on him goes way back. Way back.
Yes.
Well, Free Guy is very good. Anybody who's hesitant or hasn't watched it yet, it's good.
It's not that I have not
You
enjoyed him in things. I'd
absolutely
love
know
to
who
look at
Ryan
the-
Reynolds is because he's
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
If you've seen Deadpool, you know who Ryan Reynolds is. He's also in Definitely Maybe, which was a very cute rom-com that came out however long
And
ago.
The Proposal, which was a really cute Sandra Bullock movie.
The Proposal with Sandra Bullock.
Because I may have a weird addiction to Sandra Bullock movies.
Look up Ryan Reynolds, and as soon as you see his picture, you'll know who he is.
No, that was Shia LaBeouf.
What I was doing in the moment. Noah's watching Encanto behind me. Sorry.
And
You
that's
can tell.
Be perfect. It
yeah,
just
I'm just
needed
waiting
to be.
for Van Hammer to come in.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering if YouTube would do that.
Mommy, see this
Can you hear it? I thought I turned it
No.
down low enough.
No, I can hear it.
Oh, you can hear it? I can't.
I thought I turned it down low enough. Sorry.
Because the
Mommy,
well,
I want to draw
a lot of those companies are getting very mindful of streaming because a lot of Twitch streamers were like, crap, we need content. What are we going to do? Hey, everybody, let's just illicitly watch this TV show, all of it. I'm going to stream it so you can watch it along with me, and we're not going to get the rights to do this.
Hello.
And then the big companies found out that this was happening, and that Twitch was doing nothing about it.
Yeah.
This is a car.
And
See?
that's how Twitch
You see
streamers
the
ruin
wheel?
something for everybody. Again.
Those are black. And do you see the
Well, Jace,
fire?
next time say something and I'll make sure I turn it down sooner.
And
So they're
this
now.
is 5 and O.
Sorry, I was looking up. I was like, what? Wait, was I too old for that show? No, it actually aired when I was like 15. So
So it was absolutely where you needed to be.
I was
it
about to
was.
say, you're basically a little bit younger than me, and Ryan Reynolds, I think, is
The doors?
the same age as me because somebody pointed that out to make me feel worse about my physical condition.
You go in the toilet.
That is not fair. He is an immortal.
You got to
Like, I'm
open
sorry,
this.
I'm not Ryan
You wanna
Reynolds.
go to the store.
Well, I'm gonna give a hard truth here
car.
that
Did you see it?
there are
It's
quite
color
a number
green
of
and
people
red.
in their mid 40s that
And
are very much in shape.
Because it's pretty.
You know,
I am
you
not
don't need
one
to
of
say
them.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
I am so not one.
Bones inside of it.
You don't have to be mean about
See
it.
that? So that's why it's a dinosaur. See? It's a dinosaur.
I am
Noelle
a
wants to show her
dinosaur.
dinosaur
Thank
skills. Noelle wants to show you her dinosaur.
you. That is a dinosaur
Does it
too.
open the door?
And my car.
And her car.
That
It
is
is
a car.
it is a 68 Hemi Barracuda.
What's the name?
It just said it's a 68 Hemi Barracuda. This is Jordan's dream car in his favorite color,
Well,
which is why he has this Hot Wheel. Because he can't own it in real life, so you got to own the toy version.
There you
yeah. Can you show this too?
No
I
comments
did
about
already.
Chris
go. That
Evans.
my mother pulls that same shit. I
You know
understand.
its name? Can you show its name?
God, I'm looking at
What's
pictures
its
from this
name?
show and it is so 90s. It is so very 90s.
Okay.
And
You
I'm
see
here
a Hot
for it.
Wheel? These are hot to drive on the road.
You know, it's very 90s when your first instinct is to say, to the extreme!
Jordan had the audacity last night because I was cooking dinner in the kitchen, and he had the audacity to say, "Owie!" and then doubt that I knew what it was from. He's like, "I bet you can't tell me what that's from." I said, "Are you kidding me?"
The garbage truck.
Of course I know what it's from. Well, what's it from? Liar, liar. Like the fuck? And he's like, "Oh yeah. Well, what about in Dumber Dumber? What does it say in there?" I'm like, "I don't know," but he says this specific line in Liar, Liar, and he's like, "Oh, whatever."
This became a real weird quiz.
You don't put it in the dump truck if you have garbage.
And he's like, "Well, what scene is it from?" I said, "It's the scene in the bathroom when he starts beating himself up and he bangs his head on the urinal and then says, 'Owie!' and then proceeds to like beat the fuck out of himself in the bathroom." Like, I've seen this movie like literally at least 50 times.
No.
So I found something.
Oh no. We're all
No,
doing
it's Ryan Reynolds from 15.
It's not
Yes.
Oh
Child.
my
Gosh.
Child.
Where's that boy? Oh
But yeah, this is a still
gosh.
from 1990,
What is that
and
boy?
I was 13 then.
that hairstyle. Oh.
Yeah.
And those clothes, like I am immediately like, yeah. That I remember my mother trying to get me to buy a shirt a lot like that. And for some reason, I wanted the one with flowers.
Oh, see, if we had money, I would have been all over the clothes that were from these shows because I was like, I want to be hot like those guys.
It's a complete mystery.
I just bought like 4 pieces out of the Delia's catalog every time it came out, and I felt cooler for it.
The funny thing is, I'm seeing this girl's face, and I remember her. And I look, and I have no idea who this actress is. I'm looking at the names: Sarah Douglas, and Laura Harris. I have no idea. So I'm remembering their faces from back then.
So I watched Inventing Anna the other day and got all the way through it. And I guess I never paid attention to credits or anything and didn't realize until I was looking up, because it's based on a true story. So I was looking up something from it. And they mentioned that the reporter was played by Anna Shlumsky. And I was like, oh, holy shit, I know you.
I just finished watching it the day before yesterday. I binged it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to Jordan because we were trying to figure out what to watch, and I was like, I was curious about this, and he's like, well, what's it about? I said, you never heard about this? And he's like, no. I'm like, this is like a huge story in 2019, like in 2017, 2018, 2019, about this fake German heiress that conned like so many rich people and almost got like a $40 million loan for this business she wanted to start and everything. Like, it was a huge story, and he'd never heard of it, and he usually knows about that kind of stuff.
I still have no idea. Like, they never explain in the show where she gets all of that damn cash from. Like, it was crazy.
Well, in the beginning,
Oh my God.
it was because her boyfriend was
Oh no.
providing for her.
Something.
I'm just looking at how 90s.
That shirt.
That hurts.
Everything.
That's just painful. I mean,
those overalls, that jean skirt, yeah. That hat, yeah.
But
the six hat.
Interesting fact about Inventing Anna. So Anna Delvey, the actual person, she was convicted of, like, basically in the end, she had grand larceny of around like $260,000, and I believe Netflix paid her $320,000, but all of it has to go to paying off all the her crimes, because Son of Sam made money selling his life story for a book, and so they made a law that criminals are not allowed to profit from their crimes in any way. So even though she sold the rights to her story for inventing Anna, she has to use the money for paying back the people that she scammed.
Although that doesn't mean
Did
that she's
Noelle
no
take
longer
off
in
her pants?
debt, which, like, I would like Netflix to pay off my debt,
Make
but it
do
is nice
something
that she
really
can't
cool with your.
pocket that. Yeah.
Well, that's also in the show how Rachel, how they got the charges off from Rachel because she sold her, like, she went through this traumatic thing, got $62,000 stolen from her, and then sold the rights to her story for like $600,000.
Well, and even in the show, they said that
So
Amex forgave that bill,
yeah, forgave the
so
debt because they
she made
realized that
bank off of it too.
yeah, so they like she wasn't found guilty for that one because the person that she scammed was made a lot of profit from it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Noelle is pantsless.
Are you naked? Well,
Fairness,
shit.
I agree with them for not convicting her on the Rachel thing because Rachel was the idiot that gave her the credit card. Like, you put
Yeah.
your credit card down on hold, then I mean, that's literally what it's there for. So she
Yeah.
did that to herself.
Noelle, go put pants on. Why are you naked?
Also, the Tinder swindler is completely insane, but they do explain much more clearly how he got all of that money.
Her boyfriend?
No, the show. Have you seen
Oh,
also?
Tinder Swindler. A
Yeah,
different
yeah.
show. I thought you were talking about the same show. I'm like, wait, there's a Tinder Swindler in there?
No,
What?
no.
Did I
There's.
miss something?
I did find it funny. I didn't realize before that she was connected with the Fire Festival guy. But no, the other show, Tinder Swindler, the guy that got hundreds of thousands, probably millions of dollars off of women, claiming that he was a super wealthy, but like people were out to get him, so he just needed help to like. He basically pulled the Nigerian prince scam, and they fell for it.
It is shocking how old that scam is, though.
Yeah.
It is nightmare. Like, I believe the first one was done in the New York. What the documented one was like in the New York Times. They actually ran an ad in the personals and got money in like
Yeah.
the was it the 1890s? I think. I'm wanting to say it was a long time ago.
But like, I am sure that like, and I know that you kind of got to that, but like, I'm sure that this is old as the dawn of time. Um, People claiming
Um,
to be wealthy and therefore getting
Oh no, I'm talking about
assistance
the
based on that.
legitimate Nigerian prince scam. Hi, I'm a
Oh,
prince
like they
from
actually
Nigeria. I need help getting my money out of the country. Can you please help me? Like
got
that
it. Okay.
specific scam goes back to like this 1800s. Like that's an
um,
oldie that just keeps paying dividends apparently.
what was funny to me with the back to the Inventing Anna show is I started watching it and Jordan speaks German and he's like, oh, her German accent is like terrible. Like this actress is
Yes.
doing a bad job. I'm like, except for the fact that it's not a German accent. It's a Russian accent that's pretending to be a German accent.
Right. And like that actual Anna Sorokin's accent is every bit as atrocious. It's a little different. It's a weird, it almost has like an uncanny valley effect with it.
Yeah.
Like the actress who portrayed her voice kind of nauseated me just because it was that like very small step away from the actual accent, which isn't much better. But again, it was just that weird like dissonance between them.
Because I
But
told him what it was
yeah.
about, and I was like, she pretended to be a German heiress to scam people. So I started it. It's like, she does not sound German at all. That's a terrible German accent. And I was like, haha, well, that's because she's not actually German.
It very much reminded me of Tommy Wiseau's accent.
Have we ever figured out what planet he's from?
No, no, and we probably never will because
Okay.
nobody cares as much about him as that reporter cared about Anna Sorokin.
I'm not
So,
saying that I've used Tommy Wiseau in arguments when people are like, "There's no intelligent life in the universe." I'm like, they visited us. They made a movie. They made The Room. Do you
Made
not
the
know who
room.
Tommy Wiseau is?
So, in a stroke of genius, there is, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, the Smosh channel on YouTube did an escape room modeled
sorry.
after The Room and had Tommy Wiseau on there helping them get out of the escape room.
There's a whole movie about the room and the creation of the room, and Tommy Wiseau actually made a cameo in it at the end credit scene. It was really funny. The end credit scene specifically was really funny.
Does he? I don't know. Does he actually understand that the reason his movie is such a cult hit is because it's so bad
No,
and
no,
people
He's
are
one of those people that will never know. Like, those people that like are they this delusional or have they pulled the ultimate scam?
like Tommy
Um,
Wiseau is one of those people that, like, if I could just have a thimble full of his confidence, I would feel a lot better most of the time.
Yes.
so
Like,
the
just
funny.
like I
Sorry.
don't want all of it because I don't need to be that much of a menace, but just like a little bit, just a touch.
The funniest accent I've ever heard in my real life. When I was in the army, there was this sergeant. His last name was Faria, so it was Sergeant Faria. And his accent, I can't remember exactly where he was from, but it was something along the lines of he was a German person, I think, that learned English in like French Canada. And then also, like, he lived in Puerto Rico for a while. So his accent was very strange, and the honest to God, he sounded and talked exactly like Bartok the Bat from Anastasia.
Nice.
And that was his legit accent, and that's what he sounded like. If Jordan was here, he can do like a perfect impression of this guy, and like the funniest accent I've ever heard. I swear to God.
so rude.
I had a friend from Germany who learned English by watching Dallas. So he had, imagine what, just like crossbreed a German and a TV Texan accent.
So I really wanted to know how that sentence turned out because we were talking about Tommy Wiseau, and Chloe said he's one of the people who, and then everything froze.
Oh
Oh damn.
no!
He's
And I
one of the
don't know how
people.
that ended.
I think it was something about him being a mastermind. I think.
TLDR, he's got so much confidence he'll never know.
He's
And
one of
then
those
I
people
went
that
on
Right.
kind of
I
about
sounds like.
will
making
try again and
confidence.
hopefully it gets to you this time, but he's one of those people that you'll never know if he's completely delusional or if he is a total mastermind. And that like you'll never know if that was just his character, like his entire life is a character.
Yeah, some of those people are actually in on their own joke,
Hmm.
and some of them are completely clueless. All right. I know I just got back, but it is past the top of the hour. When we
Eh.
use... Well, you see, I actually got caught up on sleep last night, and I'd like to not fall behind again. At least not the first night.
I have to say, this is the worst form of bragging I have ever heard on any stream I have ever been on. I mean, how dare you point out that you're actually
Son
Well,
of a
I've been,
bitch.
my normal is about 6 hours, and I've been hitting like 4 to 5 a night. And last night I got 7.5
Noise.
because my body
I
decided to just let me sleep.
I stayed up until 5 playing with my new tablet because I just got it yesterday, and then Noelle came down and woke me up at 8:30. So yeah.
So there's that.
And I feel like I need to do a Jace may have been abducted by aliens video now because
Why?
you got sleep, so
Oh.
it's possible that they just anesthetized you, did weird things, and put you back.
I will be completely offended if they probe me and I don't remember.
That's why we need to do a full blown investigation.
Oh my god. So I opened up the instruction manual for my tablet because it has all the different languages, and I went to the Arabic, and it's so fucking tiny that I cannot read it.
Oh.
Like I can read all the other languages, but the Arabic is so small.
Let me see.
Oh, let me see. Well, we'll fix it.
Let me see.
Look at that shit. It's fucking tiny.
Well, it's going to be tiny anyway on the screen.
I can't read it. It's so small. Like
It is tiny.
Why is it so?
In both a tribute
So
to how much my friends
tiny.
care for me and
I
how bad
want to
my
look at
eyes
it.
are and
I
how
want to
old I'm
look at
getting,
it.
the textbook for my next class arrived, and I held it up and showed it to some people while we were video chatting, and everyone's first thing was, you can buy those magnifiers for books on Amazon real cheap. Like, nobody was like, wow, that is going to be a lot of words, which is the point I was trying to make. Everyone just immediately jumped to, you can get those illuminated magnifying glasses on Amazon real cheap.
Yeah.
I feel young.
how rude.
So young.
CB says if you have an iPhone, you can use the camera to magnify it. I actually did that with the serial number on the back of TV
I do
because
that
I
a
couldn't
lot.
read it.
But I don't need people to point out.
I use it for things that are in like real weird angles.
Oh, and to answer a question from before, Ryan Reynolds is almost exactly your age, Charlie.
Yeah.
Like
But
October 23 is his birthday.
yeah.
And I
I
don't
knew we
remember
were
which
there.
day is yours, but it's real
Yeah,
close.
November 11th is mine. I knew we were like really close, and I was pretty sure it was the same year. Because, again, rude people point out, like, well, Ryan Reynolds looks like that, and he's at that age. I'm just like, I don't have a personal trainer. I can't
I'm
afford.
not fabulously wealthy to be able to afford like plastic surgery and stuff.
Oh, tell me about it. I already have a wish list of like when I can get the repairs installed. There's a backlist.
So looking at just his regular pictures, it doesn't look like he's getting work done. He's just aging really nicely.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe this. I have an ego to maintain.
Like, he looks 45, but a damn good looking 45.
And crushed.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't say it was fair. But yeah, the constant working out probably has something to do with it.
Yes. Yeah, like that being his entire,
So a friend of mine has a
job in
theory
life.
that a lot of actors are as healthy and trim as they are because all of the dream sex that they are part of throughout everyone's fantasy life counts as exercise for them. Like it's just karmic energy that like helps keep them fit and trim and strong and beautiful. And I want to say that he's wrong, but I can't prove it scientifically.
Well, considering I'm in all of my fantasies with other guys,
Yes, but you're not in millions of other people's fantasies with other guys. That's the difference. Like,
It is cumulative.
it's cumulative. Yeah, it adds up.
Real quick, while we're talking about Ryan Reynolds, there is a filter on TikTok where it's just your celebrity parents, and it like does like two random celebrities that you supposedly look like. And there's this guy that I follow on TikTok who's a ADHD in a gay relationship, super awesome couple, and he made a video where he's like, "All right, I don't think I look like any celebrities, but let's see who my celebrity parents are," and it shows Ryan Reynolds and Zac Efron, and he just goes, "Oh my god, I want to watch my dad's fuck."
Me too.
Not wrong.
Well, now I want to watch that. Okay, I really should end the stream.
I suppose.
Fine.
I know.
No,
I'm a
this channel
spoil
belongs
sport.
to us now.
I mean, it was just getting super naughty, but that's fine.
I know. Ugh.
All right, yeah, let's end it. You're yawning now. That means you really need to sleep.
It's performative.
Oh, and I also, I was going to mention, I have this Glade candle. They've got this new, like, lilac smell or lilac scent, but it's called something lilac. I don't remember. Anyway, it's supposed to be lilac with hints of 4-leaf clover, and I'm just like, bitch, what the hell does a 4-leaf clover smell like?
Like grass?
And I'm smelling it, and I'm just like, yeah, it smells like lilac. So you're just bullshitting this.
Yes. I
A
agree.
quick callback to the last time I was on your channel about plus size people. I'm excited to read this. It's Cinderella plus sized.
Nice.
It's the same author that wrote Dumpling.
Excellent.
So, me excited.
You excited. All right. Does anybody want to do an outro for any of their stuff?
I finally actually did a new video. My next installment of Hold My Earrings 2022 is up. So if you want to know why I haven't been doing videos, I explain. And I've started taking the clips from all the weird Twitch streams that I do and turning them into YouTube shorts, which is really fun because I've actually been able to combine some of the clips because of the limit of size for clips on Twitch. That sometimes you got to watch two clips to get the whole joke. You don't actually on YouTube. So they will be coming out. One's already out. So if you want to hear Brian singing the "I Don't Want to Die" song, it's glorious and it's funny and it's already out. And a bunch are coming out next week. And thank you to everybody who's been clipping the stream because it makes it really easy for me to do that. And it's so much fun.
Yay. And a plug for us, Meadow and I are the people in charge and only people who are employed at Rose City Editing at rosecityediting.com.
You can also contact us directly at Rose City Editing LLC at gmail.com.
Excellent. And yes, I have a client starting on Monday.
Jace is booked, but I am free, so.
And I am
Hit
glad
me up.
because client means I actually consider myself having a job during those.
And it's a repeat client.
Yes.
Nice.
We like those.
Jace has now had 2 repeat clients, and I have had 2 repeat clients, and I'm very just.
Your support on
People
Coffee
like you.
helps
They
me
really like you.
And just remember, when you support other authors like me on Coffee, you're helping me to give money to my books.
Feed the machine.
Feed the machine.
Because I had a nice talk with someone today about how I am not comfortable with the advertising part of the writing life, like the public image whole thing. It sends me into a spiral of anxiety. And the only reason I've gotten back into writing is because I decided to stop trying to make writing a business for myself. And the
Oh,
person reminded me that yes, and editing is something that you're actually making money on, that you don't have to make a public image and plug constantly.
I wanted to say a thank you to the people who support Jason and I because somebody that knows about Rosity editing that likes us recommended us to somebody and we got that client. So
Nice.
yeah.
Now you're
So
gonna have
thank
to
you
do
to
the like,
whoever it
how did
was.
you hear from us thing?
Yeah, that's what I asked her at the end of the meeting. I was like, "So how did you find out about it?" She's like, "Oh, I actually was on the author tuber Facebook page and I asked about editors and somebody suggested you guys." And I was like, "Oh." So,
Yeah, I've two of our clients so far have been people that I don't know through AuthorTube. And one of them's the repeat client starting tomorrow. Yay!
Woo!
So yeah. Anyway, with that being said, if Amber's streaming, I'll probably be there tomorrow. Um,
Name.
because, we are the Shady Pines crew.
I'll probably be sleeping.
You do that.
It's too damn early, man. It's too damn early.
I have to go back to work tomorrow. Thank you, CDC.
That is. So you're 100% not contagious, right?
According to the CDC. Also, I no longer have to wear a mask at work per CDC guidelines. So we're going to see how this goes.
Can you choose to wear one anyways?
I can, but I mean, that's their call, right? They said I have to come back to work, so that's on them.
You did this to yourselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I have to come to work and I'm not required to wear a mask. So I can blame the CDC when I blow up the town with extra
Yeah,
COVID.
that's there. We're just testing their guidelines. And I mean, Publix chose to adopt those guidelines. They didn't have to say, well, the
Oh,
CDC cut all this down, so we're going to.
did
Plenty
you
of places
see
have
that?
not. So,
Did you see that Publix was one of the top um, businesses contributing to the "Don't Say Gay" bill?
Yep.
I'm not surprised. It's not so like I obviously am extremely critical of Publix. So like don't take this me as me defending Publix, but usually that's not Publix. It is the Publix heiress who we have absolutely no control over and isn't actually like she doesn't actually have any um position at Publix.
Hmm.
She's just the granddaughter of George Jenkins and she does a lot of bullshit. So usually when we make the news for shit like that, it's actually her doing it. And like we can't Publix can't do anything about it.
That's unfortunate. But
Yeah.
I also knew that in telling you that you would not be surprised.
No. No, but Publix is actually really good with it's one of the few things I can say they are very good about diversity.
Yeah, I saw this. It was like this whole list of contributors to the "Don't Say Gay" bill, alongside all their Pride Month
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
advertisements.
times I don't know that one specifically, but I do know a lot of times when we end up on shit like that, it's her. It's kind of like the Papa John's issue.
This is why they
Um,
got rid of him.
and they got rid of him. And we cannot get rid of her any more than she already is. It's yeah.
And I'm just saying, Papa John's had the best, most fitting last name for the kind of person that he is, because Schnatter.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like an onomatopoeia of his personality.
Yes.
With that being said, um, yeah, if anyone wants more streams, QWERTY is streaming later tonight. If you need more sprints, and we'll catch you all next time. Thank you for coming, and goodbye.